Imagine this. You wake to a world where your phone never buzzes, your calendar is empty, and no one demands your time. At first, it feels like freedom, until a deeper unease creeps in. Who are you when no one needs you? What is your worth when you're not constantly useful? Here's the paradox. We chase connection, yet drown in availability. We fear irrelevance, yet resent the chains of obligation. What if the very thing you believe makes you valuable, your endless responsiveness, is the trap keeping you from ever being truly alive? Why do we equate being needed with being worthy? Why does silence feel like abandonment and solitude like failure? The answer lies not in what you give to others, but in what you've abandoned in yourself. And the moment you stop being available, everything changes. But first, you must confront the hidden force that keeps you enslaved. The compulsion to be always available isn't just habit, it's a survival mechanism wired into the modern psyche. Friedrich Nietzsche saw it first. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. We fear invisibility, so we make ourselves indispensable. Not out of strength, but dread. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask we wear to earn approval, burying our true selves beneath layers of performative usefulness. Society rewards the agreeable, the always-on, the endlessly accommodating. But beneath the surface, a quiet erosion occurs. The more you exist for others, the less you remain. Why? Because humans crave validation like oxygen, and in a world that confuses busyness with purpose, we trade sovereignty for scraps of belonging. The tragedy? The more you give, the more they take, until nothing sacred is left. But what happens when the soul, starved and silenced, finally rebels? The consequences are darker than you think. The cost of perpetual availability is paid in fragments, a slow bleed of autonomy, creativity, and presence. Neurologically, your brain rewires itself to crave the dopamine of quick replies and empty validation, leaving no space for deep thought. Culturally, you become another echo in the chamber of collective distraction, always reacting, never creating. Jean-Paul Sartre warned of this. Hell is other people, not because they're evil, but because their demands become the bars of your cage. You lose the ability to sit with silence, to endure the fertile void where real ideas gestate. Worse, you forget what it feels like to want something purely for yourself, outside the hunger of external approval. The most dangerous lie, that this is connection. In truth, it's a mimicry of intimacy, leaving you lonelier than solitude ever could, but there is a way out, a rebellion buried in the oldest human wisdom. The escape begins where Nietzsche's "Become Who You Are" collides with Viktor Frankl's defiance. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power, the first act of rebellion. To reclaim that space, to let the phone ring, the request go unanswered, the silence stretch until it becomes a mirror. History's greatest thinkers, from Seneca to Kafka, carved their genius in the unlit hours of refusal. They understood true creativity, even true connection, demands periods of strategic absence. The paradox? The less available you are to the trivial, the more present you become for the essential. Start small. Miss a call. Decline a meeting. Sit with the discomfort until it transforms into clarity. The world will resist. It feeds on your compliance. But the moment you stop offering yourself in pieces, you force existence to meet you on your terms. And then the final revelation strikes. What if your worth was never tied to your usefulness? What if the very act of disappearance is what makes you undeniable? Here is the silent epiphany that changes everything. You are never meant to be endlessly available. Your worth is not an equation of utility. It is the irreducible fact of your existence. Nietzsche called it the will to power, not over others, but over your own life. The moment you stop feeding the hunger of external demands, you discover a terrifying freedom. You are the architect of your meaning. The final truth is this: only in absence does presence become sacred. The artist must retreat to create. The thinker must vanish to see clearly. Even love demands boundaries or it suffocates. Those who master the art of strategic disappearance do not become ghosts, they become forces. Now, the choice is yours. Will you remain a convenience, or will you become a mystery, one that the world must pause and lean in to truly hear?